I'll look on up to the sky. I wonder why I put a filter between beauty and my eyes. I'll look on up into your eyes. It's time I put down my devices and I start to live my life. I'll look on up, I'll look on up to the sky.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about the pros and cons of the Light Phone 2 and my transition from the iPhone 13 to the Light Phone 2. So why did I go from a smartphone to essentially a dumb phone? It can really be summed up in just a few words. I was tired of the just being marketed to, right? Being sent notifications, being sent things that I didn't want in my life, right? Now I know some people will say, well, you can turn notifications off. You can disable things. If you don't like those apps, you can delete those apps, right? All of these are true things. At the end of the day, though, the way the marketing is designed is to sell you things, right? To find out what you want and to continually sell it to you, right? And I've heard a lot of people say, well, if it's such a big deal, like just have more self-control, right? And that, it's kind of a naive phrase, right? Because if you were on a diet, for example, and you're eating, you're eating very light calories, and you have a friend, and this friend constantly is saying, hey, would you like some cake? And you kindly say, no, thank you. I'm actually, I'm dieting. I'm trying to eat healthy, right? And every day, consistently, they say, hey, do you want some cake? Do you want some candy? Do you want some of these things, right? Every single day, they continually do it, and you continually ask them not to, right? Pretty soon, you're going to separate that friend from your life because they're not supporting the things and the goals that you have in mind, right? They're consistently trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do. And so for your own betterment, you're gonna remove that from your life. And that's kind of my journey to the Light Phone 2, is similar in that aspect. So what are the pros of the Light Phone? The voice to text feature is absolutely excellent. It's comparable to most, if not better than most smartphone or large tech company voice to text features that exist. It stays connected when it's on hotspot. So if you're hotspotting, it will auto connect as well as it won't drop connection. It's an excellent feature to have, especially if you're a writer or you need to connect your laptop to your Light Phone. The charge time is impeccable. So I've heard a lot of people in previous videos say that the battery is terrible, and that's actually one of the cons that I have later on. But the pro and the counter side of that is that the Light Phone charges extremely quickly. Like you could put it on for 5-10 minutes and get anywhere from maybe 20 to 50% battery, right? So it is extremely quick. So there's pros and cons to each of that. Some of the pros that are less talked about are it forces you to be intentional. When you are not constantly scrolling, when you're not constantly being sent notifications, things to look at on your phone, right? Because companies are paid by how much you look at your phone, right? And when a phone is working for you and it's only doing what you tell it to do or what you want it to do, it allows you to use that extra time to be more intentional with the people that you're around, right? You find yourself, at least this is my personal experience, right? More eye contact with people that I'm talking to. It also just simplifies your life a little more, right? Everything's, we've got an abundance of information. We're constantly consuming things, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But when you're constantly being marketed to and you're constantly consuming things, it can take a toll on just your senses and just how much information you're taking in every day. It's truly astronomical, and the Light Phone really simplifies that and only gives you what what you decide, right? So it gives the control back to the consumer rather than to the large companies. What are some of the cons of the light phones? So you can't send pictures, right? And that's frustrating if you ever need to like send a photo of a diagram or something at work. If someone's like, hey, this wiring's all messed up. What should I do? What should I plug in, right? And your coworker says, oh, send me a picture of it, right? You can't do that. So that is a con. No Shazam, right? So for me, I love Shazam. I use it all the time. If I need to hear a song, or if I hear a song and I want to know what it is, I like being able to just Shazam it, and you can't do that on the light phone. Now, for me, the app is Shazam that I really noticed when I switched to the light phone. For some reason, most of the other apps didn't really bother me not having, but Shazam was the one that was really like, oh, I wish I had that. So sometimes I can use the voice feature in the Notes app and record a portion of a song and Shazam it later. Or I can write down some of the lyrics if I hear it and try to look it up later. But for you, transitioning to the light phone, you're going to find your Shazam, right? An app like that you wish you had, an app that you wish the light phone had. And you have to kind of make that decision while you're going through a trial period of, can I live without that, right? Another con is that, so I wish that you could differentiate playlists. So as it's currently set up, you get about 1 gigabyte of music that you can put on the light phone, but it's all in one continuous playlist. So you can't subdivide by genre. So for me, I don't want to go from quiet instrumental to more of a heavier rock song, right? Because that would just completely change the mood of whatever I'm in, if I'm studying or if I'm with people, right? So what I've had to do is I have one genre. All my music is the same genre that I put on the light phone, and that seems to work for me. I do wish that it had a way to create multiple playlists so that I could curate a little bit more for whatever the atmosphere is, because the current genre that I have on here is obviously not fit for every scenario or every occasion that I would like to play it in. I've already talked about battery life, about a day, but if you're using some of the heavier features like maps or Hotpot, it can drain the battery considerably. So I try not to leave home without the charging cord, at least in my car. Now the map feature, in a pinch, it can work. I don't really rely on it. Not having maps is not as bad as you would think it is. You would just, what I do is I look up where I need to go before I go on the computer, and then I even try to memorize some directions, some road names, right? You become a little bit more self-reliant, and you use the things that are already in existence, right? Road signs, all of those things. You start to learn a little bit more, whereas if you put all your reliance on GPS, maybe you wouldn't be as prone to learn street names. Maybe you wouldn't be as prone to learn how to get somewhere. So it's not that bad. Also, if you have an older smartphone or maybe like an iPod Touch or something like that, you can keep that in your glove compartment of your car, and then like I do, and I hotspot to that old smartphone or device to get GPS directions when I really need them, which is fairly rare, but I still have that backup if I'm ever in a pinch and I need a good GPS. I just have my old smartphone sitting there. It stays in the car so that when I'm at home, I can be at home with the people that I'm around and keep my time and attention there. And if I ever need the GPS, it's out in the car, just like a Garmin or some other sort of GPS. I do wish that there was a date on the home screen. I know Lightphone recently added the calendar feature, but having a date on the home screen would be nice. Another con is tickets. So if you ever have to go to an event where it requires a digital ticket, which a lot of events are doing that now, whether it's a concert or a game, not having the ability to have that ticket scannable is really kind of, it's definitely a con, right? You don't want to have, when you're waiting in line and you're shuffling through to get through the gate, right? You don't want to have to be hotspotting from your light phone to an old smartphone in order to scan the ticket. And now once you're in the event, you have two phones with you, right? That's just kind of a little frustrating. And you don't want to necessarily burden your friends by saying, hey, can I send this ticket to you? Can you add this to your wallet, right? Most people would probably be like, yeah, no problem, right? But just there's something about the self-reliance of being able to have your own ticket, obviously, that would be nice with the light phone that you currently don't get. The other thing is occasionally I've noticed missing texts or calls. An example was a week ago, I got a call about a job offer. And I was in the iPhone or in the light phone, and I was listening to some music, and I heard the phone ringing, and I could not see who the caller was. I couldn't access the call. I could hear the phone ringing, but I couldn't do anything about it. When the call ended, it didn't show up in my call log history. So for a second, I thought maybe someone didn't call, right? But the HR person reached out via email and said, hey, I just tried to call you, couldn't get a hold of you, right? Which confirmed that call was, in fact, the job offer. So having that reliability of, per se, a smartphone, they're working on a lot of bugs and fixes with it. But I would still say it's still not up to par with a smartphone, a modern high-end smartphone. But the benefit it gives you overall, for me, has been beneficial. Also, it's easy to pop a SIM card out of a smartphone and put it in a light phone. If you want to try it for a couple months, I know it can be an expensive trial. But give it a shot, see if you like it, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll put a link in the comment section of where you could buy an iPhone or learn more about the light phone, or learn more about it. So you can check that link out if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. Have a great day.